Hello friends, welcome to my channel. So we discussed about the team diversity, and then we also discussed about the individual preferences, and we also discussed about what is a team. Right? Basically, team should have people working together for a common goal. Now, how do we connect all these dots? The team diversity, the individual preferences, and then the team alignment. So let us look at a framework which will help you or which will guide you to connect all these dots, right? And sometimes we call it as a team charter, and probably sometimes people also call it as a team contracting. Okay. So first we need to lay out the guidelines for each and every aspect of teamwork, starting with status reports, right? So what should be the format of the status report, right? Whether it is an email, whether it is an Excel sheet, whether it is a Word document, or whether you want to use any tool, and who should send it, what frequency you should send, who should receive it, who should be in the to list, who should be in the CC list or carbon copy list, or where it should be sent, and which medium you want to send it. Is it a hard copy, soft copy, email, or whatever it is, right? And then you need to align with your team on the meeting guidelines. Very, very important. Many times, many people complain that the meetings are not productive. So you should clearly lay out the guidelines for conducting the meeting. Who should host the meeting? Who should be the participants? What roles they need to provide? And then what is the objective of the meeting? What is the outcome of the meeting? And you need to come up with some kind of high-level guidelines on how to conduct these meetings, right? And in case if somebody cannot attend the meeting, how they can communicate, or how other people can, buddy them, and how they can pass on information to them. All these things should be part of your meeting guidelines. And then customer management, again, who should be the single point of contact for customer? Who should, get the customer request? Who should work on the customer escalation? Who should be the escalation manager? What is the escalation matrix? All those things, right? And what kind of frequency you need to have a meeting with customer? Who should attend? Who should host? These are part of your customer management guidelines. And then again, escalation management, we already discussed whether it is an internal customer or external customer, right? Who should be the single point of contact? Who will, oversee this particular escalation from end to end, okay, through closure. So who should be doing that, and who should be involved, and when they should be involved, and what kind of reporting should be done in case of any escalation, right? For escalations, the reporting may be slightly different. Maybe people want more frequent updates. So you need to understand. So based on the severity of the escalation, how the escalation can be managed, how the expectations of the customers can be managed. And decision making, again, who has the authority to make a decision, right? Whatever it is, whether it is a budget decision, or whether it is a resource decision, whether it is a project management decision in terms of like time management. Who should take a call? Who should provide inputs, right? And what kind of tools you want to use? And similarly, working hours. Again, this is very, very important. As we said, individuals, they may have a different preferences. Some people may be active in the morning, some people may be active in the evening, and some people may have a problem in the their family, as we discussed, right? Yeah, in spite of that, you all need to agree on certain working hours, common working hours where everybody is available. So in case if somebody is not available, how do we handle that, right? How can we pass on the particular critical information to the person, right? What kind of exceptions we can allow, right? That is important. And then communication. Again, we discussed about the communication patterns. What kind of communication tools we should use, right? And who should communicate to whom, right? and who should be the single point of communication for your team, right? And if there is a a request coming from external stakeholders or internal stakeholders, right? Who should be responsible for that kind, providing that kind of communication to them? And then out of office support, very, very important. Many times we neglect that or we ignore that. But we need to provide guidelines that, okay, if somebody is leaving, or if somebody is, going out of office, who should be, backup for that person? And what kind of activity that backup person can do? Because again, maybe the person is working independently and, even if you provide a backup support, the backup may not be able to do everything. So we need to clearly lay out the guidelines, what kind of work can be delegated to other people and what kind of work can be taken up, whether it is only the critical work or it's the entire work he has to take up or she has to take up in the absence of the primary person, right? What are the methods of delegating the work? Because when you say backup, that person is not a additional resource, additional person. The person has to do his or her work plus he has to back up the person who is going on leave. So we need to understand how that workload can be managed. And again, we talked about tools. What kind of tools we need to use for the status reporting, for incident management, or for escalation management, everything, right? Or even the the meeting outcomes. How do you log your meeting outcomes? Matrix management. Sometimes people may report to more than one manager. Then in that case, who should take a call? Who should be providing the performance review? What frequency the both managers have to talk? And because at the end of the day, the person who is reporting to multiple managers, the person should not feel bad. He should not feel left. Because the many times people say that, oh, I thought that person is leaving and that person says this manager is leaving. That is not correct. Oh, you need to clearly lay out the guidelines. And prioritization again, what kind of prioritization we want to use? High level guidelines. If a request comes, or if a production support issue comes, if operational support issue comes, it should be given priority. And then how do we want to use the budget? How do we want to know the costing and all those things, financial information? And then who should do what? Because most of the time we need to track our financial outcomes, right? So who should do that? And who is the primary? Who is the secondary? If you can lay out the guidelines as a manager for your team on all these aspects, then definitely, unhealthy conflicts will be avoided. Because the conflicts are very inevitable in any teamwork. And sometimes conflicts are good because we can have a healthy discussion. But sometimes the conflicts can be unhealthy, mainly because lack of clarity on the roles and responsibilities, lack of guidance from the managers. So those kind of unhealthy conflicts can be definitely avoided if you set up this kind of operational framework and guidelines, right? So this is about how can you connect the dots between the team diversity and individual preferences and the team objectives, right? How at the end of the day, it is your responsibility to manage the team. It is your responsibility to ensure that team goal is accomplished, right? Objective is accomplished. So stay tuned for more. We will also talk about one-on-one meeting, how to conduct the one-on-one meeting with your team members so that you can understand better. And then what are the different, team building stages, and what are the dysfunctions of the team. All those things, we will discuss in the further, upcoming videos. And thank you for, staying with me. And thank you for watching this video. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, we will take care. Please take care. Bye-bye.